Fight Time Network.
Welcome back to Fight Time Network. We got UFC 313 this weekend, headlined by Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev. We got a special guest up in here, CJ, UFC picks. What's going on, Carlos?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it, bro.
Hell yeah. He's going to join in on us with this UFC 313 breakdown we got coming. How you doing, Lee?
Good, man. Freshly removed from that AFP 101. What an awesome night of regional fighting that was over in Columbus, Ohio. Brendan, my man, was on the commentary desk with some living legends, and I was running all the way around, getting all the good gossip from the dressing room. It was a fantastic experience. We're rested up from that and ready to get back to some UFC action.
Yeah, we are. We got a dope pay-per-view right here, right now. First fight of the night on the main card, Bobby King Green going against Mauricio Rufy. Let's let CJ start off with this one. What you thinking, CJ?
I think Mauricio Rufy is gonna knock Bobby King Green out, bro. I mean, Rufy's got really good hands, good boxing, good striking, and Bobby King Green is just getting older, a little bit slower. And I don't like the way he fights with his hands down all the time. I think this is gonna be a problem for him in this fight. So give me Rufy to win.
I'm gonna agree with you on that. Rufy's just the way Bobby King fights and Rufy being able to keep his distance. It's gonna really cause Bobby Green to. I think he gets finished. Truthfully, I think Rufy's gonna finish him. What's your thoughts on it, Lee? Keep it quick. What you got?
I think I'm going to go the other way on this one, man. I think I
Woo!
have faith in King Green in this one. I know he's getting old and I know his last few performances haven't been the greatest, but if we get the Bobby
Balls.
Green or the King Green that came out against Jim Miller, if we get the King Green that beat Hasprat, which aged well as of last night, if we get the King Green that was able to piece Grant Dawson off a one shot in the very first round, like, I don't think James Yontop would beat Bobby Green. I don't think
No.
Jamie Malarkey would beat Bobby Green. And those are Mauricio Rufy's last two big victories over there. I think if King Green comes out with the performance he put on Jim Miller, the performance that he put on Hasparat, we certainly could very well be in store for an upset.
Damn, Lee. Damn. Coming in at a plus 350 right now, Bobby King Green. Dude, Lee, you're going out on a limb for this one, my friend. If this shit hits, man.
I'm hanging myself to dry, but I have all the utmost faith. I've been watching tape all Sunday morning, and I think I see something.
I'm gonna disagree with you. I just after Mauricio's last couple performances, what it is. But man, if you end up calling this dude, you got to make an own little clip real quick for everybody. That would
Rightfully
be
so,
fire.
rightfully so.
Either though, if he does get the knockout, it's not like anybody can't say Bobby Green ain't been there and deserved it. So I mean, there's always a possibility, but you never know, Lee. Touche to you, man. Oh my God. That would be crazy. All right. Well, let's move on here. Amanda Lemos, 14-4-1, coming up whew, against Yasmin Lucindo, 17-5. I'm gonna let you rip off real quick with this one, Lee. What do you think about this matchup?
I think Lucindo is going to take it in this one. She's coming off a 4-fight win streak. Lemos has not been able to put together a couple of wins since 2022. Lemos is starting to age out. She's getting older. She's 37. Lucindo is still way, way young in the game, and I think age will be the benefiting factor here. Lucindo has a very good, very tight arm triangle, and Lemos has given up a couple of subs in the past in her career. So I certainly think Lucindo has all the tools and skills in order to beat Lemos on Saturday night.
I'm actually gonna disagree with you on this one here too. I feel like Lemos being in the UFC and her age is gonna end up letting her win this fight. I feel like her being in the cage and understanding how this fight's gonna work, 3 fights in front of this huge crowd. I feel like Lucindo's, how would I say it? I guess experience in the cage and just age and wisdom with age is going to lose to this fight with Lemos. I feel like she has everything in the book to be able to defeat Lemos, but I feel like her being only 23 years old
Yeah.
is what's going to get her in this cage. Lemos is actually the start of the rip on my first parlay of the evening. CJ, where you landing on this one, my friend?
I have to go with Lucindo, bro. Lucindo is just younger, faster. Lemos only has the power advantage, in my opinion, the knockout power. But Lucindo is just faster and quicker, and I like the age. I like the age difference there. So give me Lucindo. Absolutely no bets though, because I'm trying to stay away from women's MMA this year.
It'll break your heart, man. It'll break your heart.
Yeah, it's not the easiest one betting on girls. That's for sure. So there you have it. Oh, I'm still taking Lemos. I just feel like her age and her wisdom, just more being in the UFC and the competition she faced. I mean, she did end up getting a win against Dern. Jean Deroba is just on a freakish run right now.
Yeah.
Lost to Wei Lee. We see how Wei Lee just stomped her competition defending the belt the other day. I don't know. We'll see. This one was really one hard to pick, but I ended up going with Lemos pretty much just because of the odds. But is what it is. All righty, moving on to this one. This is a great matchup. A lot of people don't know where they're at with this one just because Jalen Turner kind of had a rough rip. Jalen Turner coming at 14-8 against Ignacio Bajo Mendez, 16-5. What's your pickup on this one, CJ?
I think this is gonna be a close fight, closer than the
Very
number
hard.
says. I might stay away from this fight, but I like Bahamondes better. I think Turner's a wishy-washy fighter, and he does have the tools to get it done, but I think Bahamondes is just it's just a little bit better in every department that he has to offer. So give me Bahamondes, staying away though, bro.
Got you. Yeah, this one was very hard. It probably took me 20, 30 minutes. I'm taking Jalen Turner, truthfully. I know that Bajo Mendez. Do you think Bajo Mendez beats Dan Hooker? Do you think Bajo Mendez beats Gamrot? Do you think Bajo Mendez can beat Moicano? And everybody knows Jalen Turner pretty much slept Moicano, walked away, tried to beat the bell, didn't get it, ended up getting his ass whooped right in the second round. It
You
is what
took
it
the
is.
words right out of my mouth.
So, I mean, with Jalen Turner, I feel like he just got a couple bad beats. And truthfully, the last fight cannot reflect on him and his fighting in my book, just of how it all panned out. And then you look at Moicano. I mean, we all wish he didn't. I believe he was rushed in the title fight. I would rather him win that fight and then get that also and not lose it. But coming with Bajo Mendez, he's really untested. I mean, he lost to Ludovic Klein. He beat Ogden, Giagos, and then Torres. But really, where are they at? So this is really hard to pick because we haven't really seen Bajo Mendez fight anybody near the level, of Dan Hooker, Mate Moicano, Gamrot. So really, this is his prover fight right here to see where he's actually at within this weight class. What you got on this, Lee?
I certainly have to agree with you there. I think we are going to see the redemption of Jalen Turner in this. We're going to see the 2020 to 2022 four-fight win streak. Jalen Turner, I mean, even coming off of that, he only dropped a couple of split decisions against Gamrot and Hooker, two very high, very ranked fighters. So I agree with you on this, Brendan. This is Jalen Turner's fight to lose. He has every chance and every opportunity in this against Bahamondes to create some redemption for himself. And yeah, it's his fight to lose. I'm going with Turner.
I keep forgetting he's under 30, man. That's a big deal. For some reason, I thought Jalen Turner's like 32, 33. He's got, yeah. So both of these guys literally could make or break. Pretty much Jalen Turner, he needs this win, like you said, against Bahamondes. Moving on to the co-main event. We all know we upset Gaethje, Hooker. Oh, that was like fight of the year potential, literally, and we were only going to be in March. But Justin Gaethje, 25-5, stepping up to the plate on 2 weeks short notice. Rafael Fiziev, go ahead on point with this one, Lee.
Yeah, so I don't see what Fiziev can do anything differently than what we saw in the first fight. I'm going with Gaethje on this. I mean, ultimately Fiziev did lose to Gaethje 2 fights back, and then he came in against what was it, Gamrot, and was ultimately injured. I may be incorrect in that opponent there, but he did suffer an injury in his last fight in the first round, so he's been basically in rehabilitation. He's taking Justin Gaethje coming off an injury, so he's already lost to. I just
Right.
don't know what he could have changed or how he could approach this differently in between the time that's elapsed from the last fight where he saw him face Gaethje in between his injury and now. I think it's going to play out exactly how it played out before, and Justin Gaethje's ultimately going to go into it with the utmost confidence because he's already won, and a confident Gaethje certainly is a dangerous Gaethje, and Fiziev is certainly not going to provide the problems to Justin that Max Holloway ultimately did. So I think Gaethje gets this, especially being on short notice. I think there could be more potential for Fiziev if he had a full camp. But ultimately, with the short notice, with the fact that Gaethje's already got the blueprint to beat him, I think it's all Gaethje in this one.
Well, I rewatched their fight today, actually, and Fiziev looked great through 1 and 2. And the speed, the way Fiziev was hitting him in the first round of their last fight, is Gaethje still? Dude, that's a bad knockout, man. As much as any people can't say, he's gonna wear that one the rest of his life, dude. And there's
Mm.
no. He's 36 now, and he was exhausted when he took that knockout, which makes it even worse. I end up actually taking Fiziev on this one. If he doesn't get it finished in rounds 1 and 2, he's really gonna be in trouble. But his speed and man, he was missing Gaethje like that.
It was
I
close.
know, I know. But Fiziev's only 31. He did get injured, yes, but he's still young in his prime, about to possibly be his prime. So we'll see how much that pans out. You really can't say an injury is going to affect this fight until you see it. And then you'll know that carries through the next couple fights. So what do you think, CJ?
I think this is going to be an exciting fight, possibly a war. I
Yeah.
think both fighters are great. Fiziev, like Lee said, if he was in a full camp, I would have probably leaned Fiziev, but just because he's on short notice, I gotta go with the underdog here. I even made a bet again with Justin to highlight Gaethje plus 110. I like that number with him, so give me Gaethje in this fight.
Hell yeah. And we move on to your main event, UFC 313 this Saturday. Alex Poatan Pereira, 12-2, coming up against Magomed Ankalaev, 20-1. Oh, deadbeat. Flip a coin. Who we got here? CJ, let's go.
I never faded Poatan yet, bro, but I think this is gonna be the day. I
No
really
shit.
do, man. Magomed's got all the tools, especially the wrestling. If this goes to the ground, then Poatan is in trouble. He can defend some takedowns, but he's not like the best at it. So if Magomed gets this to the ground, I think he's pretty much done. But if this stays on the feet, give me Poatan all day, man.
I feel you. And like, with a lot of people from my perspective, the Ankalaev really doesn't have like the best wrestling in the world. Like he's pretty decent at wrestling, but he's not really known for it. He's been standing and striking for at least his past 3 fights, if I'm not right, and not really tried to take it to the ground too much. What you thinking, Lee?
Yeah, I totally agree with you there, Brendan. I spent the afternoon watching back his last few fights, Jan Blachowicz, Johnny Walker, and then of course Rakic. And yeah, he never really forces those takedowns when the striking's not going his way. He just hangs in there and tries to find the counter, tries to find the angle, and that's not the best game to play against Poatan. Now, Alex Pereira, he proved that the fact of a southpaw standing in front of him doesn't affect his ability to get off that leg kick. He showed that against Khalil Roundtree. And the way Rakic and Walker were able to get those many kicks in the first round, kind of leans toward the fact that Pereira is going to be able to be much more successful at it. You watch the Walker fight and you watch the Rakic fight, you could see both these guys. Ankalaev gets off to a slow start. Some would argue maybe he gave away the first round against Walker. That's debatable, but a lot of the judges scored the first round for Rakic, and Rakic was able to get that high kick up there over and over and over again. He wasn't able to land the low kicks, but Rakic's not really known for a good low kick there. So I think if he starts off slow and doesn't incorporate his game plan, doesn't force his game plan immediately off the hop in the first round, Poaton's going to be able to find that range. He's going to set up that low kick. He's going to be able to set up that high kick. And you saw that jab pick apart Roundtree over and over again once he was able to find it. And I mean, that left hook is there. It's a little bit different when a southpaw is standing in front of him, but that left jab where he was able to find the right side of Roundtree's face, if that range is found in the first round, it could be a bad night for Ankalaev. And then ultimately just the sheer will of Poaton to continually force. Like Rakic faded a little in the fight. Walker definitely faded. You know, Poaton's not going to do that, so he can't particularly rely on it. So I really like the minus 125 on Alex Pereira. I feel like it's almost free money.
So if Ankalaev can work in a couple takedowns, CJ, what do you think about Pereira even being able to get back up if he does go to the ground late in round one, maybe halfway through round two, or maybe in the beginning of round two? You think he has the capabilities to get back up?
I think he has the capability to get back up. Absolutely. I mean, he works with Glover Teixeira, and Glover Teixeira is a great wrestler, and he's got a good ground game himself. So training with him is going to benefit him in this fight. But I just think that the schedule for Pereira is just a little bit too much. He's fighting a little bit too soon for my liking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if Ankalaev is going to utilize a wrestling game plan, he needs to ensure that he's not going to get his leg beat up in the first round, because we saw it with Blachowicz. He got his leg torched in that fight, and Poaton is far better at it. So if he's going to use a wrestling game plan, he's got to make sure that he does it early and he's able to not lose his mobility by Alex kicking your calf right off your bone.
Good shit, fellas. All righty, y'all. Well, that wraps up your breakdown for UFC 313. Just want to thank CJ UFC Picks for coming on. Where can they see you at, man?
Instagram, TikTok, and CJ UFC Picks. Make sure you follow me. I drop my picks every week. Dog of the card and lock of the card as well.
All righty. Well, we out of here. See y'all next week. Fight Time Network.